So today we are going to talk about sewing patterns. Hey, Nikki here with Beaute and Aviano Bags, and if you are here, then you are someone that's interested in sewing, creating, making patterns, creating patterns. I get a lot of questions regarding how did you get started? If I want to make sewing patterns, how should I get started? And if you've ever sent me a message, then you know I am not trying to gatekeep. I give you the information. If you've asked, I've given it to you. Because what I do think is that with kind of like the exit of simplicity and all that, I believe that there is such a need for people to create these patterns. Like it's a need. It's a need. The market is wide open for it. So I will briefly kind of go over what my process is and kind of give you some alternatives and hopefully some like tips to help you get started. Okay, so I will tell you how I get started. I create my own patterns and I typically do it either on paper or I'll drape it on the dress form, and then I make the patterns and then I create like the paper patterns. So I've gone through the whole process with the sizing, with the different changes, what I want. I do all of that by hand, or I do it on the dress form. And I will tell you this, doing it on the dress form is a lot easier. So, and I only do like dresses and tops on the dress form. So like skirts and pants, I do everything with pen and paper. So I create the pattern. At this point, I'm probably 3 samples in. So I'm actually making it as I go, right? So once it's all said and done and I'm happy with what I've created, and it's gonna be based off of my size because I wanna be able to try it on, see how it fits. So all of the samples that I make are my size. So after I'm happy with kind of like the final outcome, after I've made it probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, I then take the paper, I put it on the floor, I stand above and I take a picture of it. I take a picture of it, I load that picture into Adobe Illustrator, and I create a digital copy of that. So I take it and I outline it. But when I do that, I make sure the dimensions are exact. So prior to taking the picture and uploading, I measure every single inch of the pattern to make sure what I have in Adobe Illustrator is the same as what I have in my hand. So once that's done, everything is digitized. I send mine out to get graded. So I don't do the grading. I know there are people who do their own grading. I don't grade. Like all of this is time consuming, but the grading process, oh honey, I don't want any parts of that. So I send the grading part out. So once that's graded, I get it back. I verify the size off of what they graded and then what I have. So I verify, make sure the sizing is correct. I print it out and then I make another one. So this last sample that I made, because ultimately that's like the last one, I am creating and sewing the tutorial off of that. So the tutorial that I film is going to be off like the final that comes back after the grading. So I create the tutorial, I do the outlook, which is kind of like the little handout that is accompanying the pattern that is going to tell you these are the suggested fabrics that you should use. This is the sizing, so all that goes on there, as well as the written instructions. And then I take and I create the pattern in like an A4, a print at home US, and then an AO file. And then there we have it. We have the digital pattern. Now, from beginning to end, it depends. because that's not the only thing that I'm doing. So it takes a minute. It takes, if I did that from beginning to end and worked on nothing else, I could probably get it done in a few weeks. And that's just me doing that and outsourcing. If I didn't outsource the grading, y'all would never get a pattern. Like, y'all would never get a pattern because it just takes too long. So that is my process. Now, there's a couple other ways you can do it. And I know you're probably thinking like, girl, the first part is like, you lost me on that, like creating my own stuff. I get it. I 100% get it, but you still want to make your own pattern. Now, doing that the beginning, that's going to take some time because you probably need to take a course. And if you want to get it done quickly, right? But I am someone that's like, okay, there's so many resources online for free that you can kind of, jump in and kind of learn how to do it. Now, I will tell you, that sounds easier than it actually is. But if you still want to create your own pattern, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to even mess around with that because honestly, it is a headache. And sometimes I say to myself, why am I still doing this? Like, it takes so much time. But I will tell you this, you can go to someone and work with someone to say, okay, this is the type of pattern I want to create. And with that, they will take you through every process that I just went through myself, and they will create that pattern for you. Now, if you already have your idea and you simply want someone to turn this into a pattern that is sellable, that is doable too. And I know there are a lot of companies that will charge you an arm and a leg for doing that. And you don't know how it's going to perform. You don't know how it's going to sell. You want to at least get your money back, especially for the first one. You don't want to lose money, like too bad on it, right? So this is what I recommend. There are so many resources in terms of Fiverr. You can go on to Fiverr. You can go on to Upwork. I feel like Upwork has very professional pattern makers. They have very professional graders. I will tell you, I have a guy that I've been working with on Upwork for years, like years. So he grades all of my patterns. I'm familiar with them. His prices are getting higher and higher and higher. And I guess that's just the nature of the economy that we're in. But when I look at the headache that I'm saving by not doing it myself, it makes sense. So you do have that option to where you can hire someone to do the entire process. You can do that while you're learning the whole pattern actually drafting process. So here are a few resources that may be really helpful to you. I wrote them down because I forget. My memory is getting old. Okay, malt.com, M-A-L-T, really good resource. Again, if and what you can do, and keep this in mind, you can put a bid out and let people bid on your project. So you put your project, you tell them everything you need, you even tell them the budget that you're working with, and they will fight for your project. Also, keep in mind, there are people on these sites that their work isn't that good, right? So you want to make sure with everything that you do online, you look at reviews. You look at reviews, you look at the work that they've done previously. So you want to make sure you're working with a good freelance worker. Also, here's another one, freelancer.com, another really good one. I've worked with freelancer.com before. And I think I mentioned that one, Upwork. I love Upwork. Here's another thing. When you contract to work with a freelancer, you place the money, you come to a price, right? They send you over basically the quote, you accept it, you fund that quote, but it sits in escrow. So they don't get it until the work is done. So you establish like, at this point, this is what should be done. At this point, this is what should be done. You establish a time frame. They agree to the time frame. It's in contract because once you go through that, you're under contract. And this is for Upwork. I'm pretty sure the other ones kind of work the same, but I will kind of go into detail about Upwork. You fund that. The money sits there. When they're done, you get the project, you verify to make sure it's right before you release the funds. So once it's all done and you're happy with it, then you release the funds. So it's not as scary as it seems. You have also the option of where do you want this person to live that you're working with? Do you want it to be a US freelancer? Do you want it to be in another country? Do you want it to be in Paris? All of those things are going to make a difference. One, the amount that you're going to pay, right? Working with a freelancer in the US, they're going to be a bit more expensive, but you are also not going to have like the language barrier. Now, I will tell you, I have worked with people in other countries. When you're talking to them through Messenger, there isn't a big issue with the language barrier. But I know there are some people that just want to work with people in the US, to each his own. But I will tell you, there are tons of freelancers all over the place. They are amazing at what they do. But there are also some that are trash. Let's just be honest. So once you find somebody that works well with you, communicates well with you, you like what they do, you've looked at their reviews, you have a good rapport, they kind of understand how you work, how your process is, then definitely stick with them. Also, take into consideration when you are dealing with someone in another country, there's also that time difference. So if we're working throughout the day, you know, it's usually in another country, it's going to, depending on where it is, it's going to be nighttime. So if you find someone that kind of works on your schedule, that's perfect. But if not, you know, these are the give and takes of not creating the process and the pattern on your own. It can be done. Is it worth it? It depends. It absolutely depends. I will go into probably another video on once you get that pattern, what do you do? How do you sell it? How does your pattern get traction on places like social media, on places like Etsy? So we'll go into all that. I know Etsy's getting like a bad rap lately, but yeah, we'll talk about that another day. But yeah, so it's an option. You can create your own pattern. Here's another thing. You can partner with other people, partner with pattern designers to create a pattern with them. It has to be kind of a win-win for both parties because it has to make sense, because that other person is probably going to do all the heavy lifting in terms of getting the pattern out to production. And I say production, but it's like digital production. But anyway, so I hope that was helpful. It's really brief, really quick. If y'all wanted me to go into like, all right, let's sit down and kind of hash out how we actually do this pattern from beginning to end, I can do that as well. But I will tell you this, if you want to create like your first pattern, don't start with clothes. Start with like a bag, right? Start with, I did like a, on my website, I have like a free headband pattern. You can start with something like that. Not saying it has to be free, but you can start with like an accessory pattern. Really easy. You don't have to have it graded. You can literally sketch it out on your own. It's a lot more doable as your first pattern. But I don't know. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Happy sewing.